Hi, my name is Greg. I'm with ACS Data Recovery. I'm going to show you how easy it is to create your case in our ticket system so that you can send your storage device in for an evaluation. The evaluation process on hard drives, flash drives, even multi-drive RAID arrays is 100% free. We don't charge anything at all to take a look at the device and just kind of get a professional opinion on what the situation is with it, and then confirm the cost with you for the recovery before proceeding with anything. So then at that point, once the evaluation is done, you can decide if you want to move forward with the recovery attempt or not. But the first step is visiting our website at acsdata.com. And once you are here, you would go through, and in our main menu here along the top of the page, there's a link that says Start Your Recovery. Just click on that. This will kind of give you an overview of the process and what it entails. And then from here, you'll have a link towards the middle of the page that says click here or the image below to start your recovery. So if the image is showing up on your device, sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. It depends on what type of device you're on our website looking at. You would just click that link, and that takes you to the form where you actually create your case. Now the first step is to select your location. We have two locations. We are in Florida and we're also in Texas. Our Texas location handles most of the RAID data recovery work, and then also any of our Texas customers. RAID data recovery takes an extreme amount of time and resources, and we do so many of them that we've kind of dedicated our Texas location now to just doing RAID data recovery work, and then also whatever local jobs that we do within the state. And yeah, we consider the state of Texas local because we get drives shipped to us from all over the country. So let's just assume that you are a Texas customer. No offense if you are from somewhere else, but we're just going to keep this simple. The first step would be just filling out your name, your email address, and phone number. And once that's done, you move into the return shipping location. And I'm just making up some of this stuff as I go along here just to kind of show you how it works. And then you start getting into the details about your recovery case. Once you're down into this area, you can select how you want the data returned to you once the recovery is completed. So if the data is recoverable, you want it just shipped back UPS ground. We do that free of charge. Second day air, next day air. So let's just assume it's going to be UPS ground. And then here's where you would select how you want to pay. We do not collect any payment information here, but we do get an idea of how you want to pay once the recovery is completed. We actually don't collect any payment information even whenever we get to the point where we've completed the recovery. Once the recovery is completed, we generate the invoice. The invoice is linked through to our website. You go on, you pay the invoice. You're the only one that has your payment information on hand. We don't collect any of that information. It goes straight through to our merchant account processor and handles the charge that way through our secure server. So let's just say you're not sure yet. You can either select that you're going to pay by credit card or company or personal check. A lot of times if it's a PO with a company, this is what they would select. Price quoted for recovery. So if you've gone through and already called and gotten an idea of what the recovery cost is going to be, you'd put that here. Type of media. Let's just say it's a laptop hard drive. Operating system. You can select from different operating systems here. If you're not sure, you just select not sure. We'll say it's Windows based. The brand, Hitachi, we'll just say it's that. 500 gigabyte. And then your model number, serial number would go into these boxes here. If you're not sure what those are, if you're not sure what any of this is, you can leave it blank. So it's very easy to get through this process. Media condition, has the drive been opened? You can select yes, no, again, not sure. Sometimes if you've had somebody look at your storage device before sending it to us, you may not know if they've opened it. So that's where you put not sure. The only time we charge attempt fees, and that's what this paragraph here is going to explain, The only time we charge attempt fees on standard drives is when they've already been opened prior to our receipt. Now that means if you've had it somewhere, or if you yourself have tried to look at the drive internally, exposing the platters, exposing the heads, and have tried to work on it, etc., that's the only time we charge attempt fees, and it's for good reason. A lot of times when we get drives in after they've been opened by somebody else, they are usually a wreck inside, and it just adds to the time and the effort that we have to put through. A lot of times it'll actually cause issues with the replacement heads that we install as well, because of the fact that any of the dust contamination, anything like that that has occurred, can cause issues with the replacement heads. Also, we get a lot of times where drives been somewhere else and people have attempted head swaps, and that wasn't even the problem that the drive had. It's just something that they're blindly doing, just thinking that that's what needs to be done. And a lot of times those come back and they're botched, and we end up having to do more work on the drive. So, again, that's the only time we ever charge attempt fees, is on situations like that where a drive's already been opened by somebody else. There is some flexibility to that. Obviously, if the case, on a case-by-case basis, we would just talk to you and say, okay, get the full story of what happened, and then just kind of go from there. But anyway, that's where you would select if it's been opened or not. Do you need the device returned if it's not recoverable, or if you decide not to proceed with the recovery attempt? Some people will say no. Once they've sent it in to us to take a look at it, they don't want the drive back, if it's not recoverable. If they do want it back, then there'd just be the return shipping fee. Priority level, standard, rushed, expedited, you would select that here. And that gives you, this paragraph below gives you an explanation of what those services are. Standard has no additional fees. Rushed and expedited are going to have additional fees associated with them. And then the primary contact name for the case. It may be that you are filling out the case for someone else who's actually going to be the point of contact, so you'd put their name there, or just go ahead and put your name so that we know for sure that you are the contact that we need to be in touch with. We do not discuss the recovery process with anyone other than who is listed here as the main point of contact, unless it's been specified within the ticket system that we are permitted to. We deal with a lot of sensitive data here. We deal with a lot of corporations and healthcare providers and things like that, and even just personal users who have information that they don't want shared with anybody else, and we take data security very, very seriously here, to the point where we are obsessed with it, actually, I believe. In this box here, the big box that we're in right now, this is where you would explain what happened prior to the drive failing, what's been done to try to recover the data at that point, and then also, too, if you happen to know what the most critical files are that are needed to be recovered. You can be as detailed or as vague as you want to be, but the more information that we have here, the better it is for you in the long run, because you can't be too detailed with this. Trust me. The more information we have, the easier it's going to be for us to make sure that we get the data that you need. If you don't specify files in this field here, then we're going to just go through and be blindly pulling whatever data we can off of it. And it may or may not be the data that you actually are looking for. So if you say, hey, I need my QuickBooks file off of here, please specify that that's the most important thing. So let's just say we're going to explain what happened to this device in our sample here. Let's just say the laptop was dropped. I need my Outlook PST file. If you happen to know that type of information, that's great. This right here is a very simple explanation, but it tells us everything we need to know. You need the Outlook PST file, which is all your emails associated with Outlook. That's great. That's perfect. But that doesn't mean that's all that we're going to get off of it. What that means is we will focus on this file first, this Outlook PST file first. Then once we know we have that recovered, then we'll go back and get everything else off the drive as well. It's not going to be just this that we get off. So we try to get the most critical files first, which will be the files listed in this box, and then we'll try to go back after that is completed and get everything else that is also on the drive. Documents, pictures, etc. So once you have that done, down to the CAPTCHA text, yours is going to be different, obviously. 2D 0792D. Okay, and then just click Start Your Recovery, or Start My Recovery. It says. Oh, I missed a box actually. What box? Oh, did I not do? I had the wrong 2E3. I must have misread that. My mistake. And then once this is done, it will give you a confirmation page here in a second. And it's not uncommon for this to take a little bit of time to go through and process. It's just the way that the database interacts with this particular form, it's a little sluggish. And that's one thing that we'd like to change coming up, is to make this process here, this part of it anyway, a little quicker. And once that's done, you'll get this confirmation page. You'll also get something similar to this emailed to you as well. It says that to note to check your spam or junk mail folder, especially if you use Gmail. So if you don't get your confirmation email within about 5 minutes or so, I would definitely recommend checking the junk or spam folder that you might have with your email provider. Sometimes, especially with Gmail, the emails that are sent out from the ticket system will get picked up as spam or junk, even though they shouldn't be. And you'll have to set us up as a safe sender so that the emails come through. It's not hard to do. You can also Google it too, just to see how that's done. And in this confirmation, it'll give you the ship to address, and it will have a reference number, which is your case number, which you need to include with that shipping address. Just include a note in with the storage device with your name and that case number that was issued to you, and that's all we need. Some people actually print off this confirmation page or print off the confirmation email, include that, and that's perfectly fine as well. The next step would be just going through and getting the drive packaged up. You want to make sure that you put it in a well-fitting box, wrap it in 3 or 4 layers of bubble wrap, put it in a box where it's not bouncing around inside there, and it will be perfectly fine. We've gotten drives shipped to us from all over the world, and over the last 14, 15 years of doing this, I cannot think of a single instance out of hundreds and hundreds of drives every year. I can't think of a single instance where we've had an issue where a drive's been damaged during shipping. So, but that's it. Once we get the drive in, we will let you know that we received it, so you'll get a ticket update, and those notifications will go to your email saying that your ticket's been updated. So that's another reason why, to make sure that we're on your safe sender list. Once the evaluation is done, within a day or two, we'll do another ticket update, just letting you know what we found and confirm the cost with you before we proceed with any recovery attempts. And then during the recovery process, we'll use that ticket system as well to post updates to the recovery process until it's completed. And if you have any questions at all during that time or before or anything like that, you can also post them in your ticket. And it's kind of a written log of communication that we have for each customer, so that no matter who's working on your recovery, everybody's on the same page with it. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions at all, feel free to give us a call at 1-800-717-8974. If you need more information about our recovery services, feel free to browse around on our site there at acsdata.com, and we will be happy to help you and answer any questions you might have. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.